Hi there, Andrew here. I love to be entertained, but I have no patience. So I give every new show I watch only one episode to hook me. Welcome to Debut Review. Centaurworld. Yeah. So, weeks and perhaps weeks ago, I saw a trailer for Centaurworld. And this trailer said, "Hey, Andrew." "Yes, Centaurworld trailer," I replied. "Do you like cartoons?" it asked. "You know I do," I responded. "Do you like cartoons that look like this?" "No, Centaurworld trailer. I admit that I don't. I'm not a fan, per se, of some of the more common tenets of Western TV animation, such as big round eyes, bean shaped mouths, small ill defined hands on noodly arms. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just an aesthetic I don't find particularly appealing. So, Centaurworld trailer, you are already starting off on the wrong foot because I find your show, so far as I can see from the trailer you're presenting, visually abhorrent, repulsive to me. So I don't think I will be partaking of this particular show. Centaurworld trailer said, I understand. Well, thank you for your time. I'll be going now." And put on its coat and hat and walked towards the door. It had its hand on the doorknob before it stopped and turned back and said, "Just one more thing. What if I told you it was a musical?" I said, "You son of a bitch, I'm in." So, today I'm going to watch the first episode of Centaurworld. I really don't like how it looks. I really don't like how it looks. But it's a musical. So, I mean, if you're a cartoon and you're a musical, well, heck, I'm going to watch it. So, I was looking for how long this is. I would assume it's probably 20 some minutes. So, I'll see you back here in, well, by your frame of reference, about 3 seconds. I hated it. I hated it with a passion that burns hotter than the fire of 1,000 suns. This was torturous. I don't think anyone deserves to sit through this. This is awful. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen. And I'm talking about aesthetics alone. I will not watch episode 2 or any subsequent episode. I will not watch episode 1 again. I feel assaulted. I feel gross. Interesting that a simple cartoon can engender such feelings. Normally a show, especially a cartoon, is I I enjoyed it or didn't care for it. No. This one made me ponder my life. The decades I have existed. And think about all the horrible things I must have done to deserve this show. And again, the negativity I put forth is based solely on the aesthetics. There are other elements of this show. I just noticed that episode 6, the title is Holes, Part 2. There's no Holes, Part 1. Although episodes 9 and 10 are the Rift Part 1 and 2 respectively. Anyway, there are other elements of this show, which I will subsequently describe, but I'm not yet done bitching about the aesthetics, which I hate. This show hurt me. This show physically hurt me. I feel this show owes me recompense. I should shave, but it just grows back. As much as I hate the aesthetic of this show, I feel the show hates this aesthetic too. The big round eyes, the small ill-defined hands at the ends of noodly arms, the bean-shaped mouths, the deliberately ugly posing, taking squash and stretch to extremes that would offend the Looney Tunes. I feel this show is a commentary. Not a flattering commentary, but a commentary nonetheless, on stylistic choices that are fairly common in modern-day Western TV animation. I feel that the show is making fun of these elements by exaggerating them, taking them to the extreme, and rubbing your face in it and saying, see, bad, this is bad, this is terrible, stop doing this, see how bad this is bad. The problem with pointing out how bad something is by showing how bad something is you're just being bad. It's kind of like demonstrating how bad racism is by being racist. Yeah, your point may come across, but you're also being racist. You are that which you are criticizing. I could be totally off base here, but I feel that this show really hates these, this particular style. So, we start in the real world with a girl and her war horse. Her village has been burned down. She's being chased by monsters. And the animation is not this. It's, you'll notice that the horse's animation or model is stylistically different from everything that surrounds her. Yeah, she starts out in the real world, which the animation is more 2010s American TV animation era. So think a lot of the Nickelodeon shows, you know, Avatar, Last Airbender, and stuff like that. The design looks more akin to that era of animation. And then, so it's an isekai, another one. Hope it's not a harem anime or cartoon. Horse falls through portal and ends up in Centaurworld. where there are half horse, half other animals, like half horse, half zebra, half horse, half llama, half horse, half man, half giraffe. And it's a magical world, full of fun and whimsy, where everyone wants to be your friend whether you like it or not. What I find interesting is it appears that the show may ultimately have some fairly dark undertones. Horse and her new friends are trapped in a small area of Centaurworld under a dome force field that keeps them safe. Safe from what? We don't yet know. But I get the sense that there might be some dark and horrible things in store for our protagonists here. Because all of our Centaurworld friends are bored out of their minds. They're just lying to themselves about how happy they are and how fun and silly and whimsical everything is. And they sing and they dance and they're bored out of their minds because they're trapped in one place. Because they're safe there. Again, safe from what? I don't know. But Horse arrives, and in order to get Horse back to her world, they need to journey out of the area that they've locked themselves in and find the 5 mystical shamans who can transport Horse back to her world. And so the adventure begins. I'm not going to go along for the ride. I could be wrong about this undercurrent of darkness. I'll never know because I'm not going to watch any more of this. It is a musical. There were several songs, and they're pretty good. Well composed. Nice melodies. Arrangements are nice. I appreciate that once we had the full cast that they bothered to actually do harmony parts and not bury them in the mix. That's wonderful. I think the actor who's voicing Horse is miscast. Not because she's a poor voice performer. She is not. She's doing just fine. Her voice, to me, just doesn't match the horse. That is a big, burly war horse. And she has a very high, airy voice. It just sounds weird. Maybe that was the point, but I would expect a fuller, richer, lower toned voice coming out of a big horse like that. Look at the size of the chest on this horse. This is a horse with some lungs and diaphragm. You're not going to get a high, wispy, airy voice out of that. Probably. Of course, you're not going to get a voice out of a horse anyway, so whatever. There were jokes. Some of them were funny. One of them was funny. The Centaurworld denizens have the magic ability to shoot smaller versions of themselves out of their hooves. Or rather, or the bits at the end of their appendages, anyway. So they do, and they fire little miniature versions of themselves, and the little miniature versions all have existential crises. Like, why am I? What's my purpose? Ah! And they run screaming. I thought that was pretty funny. That's it. I also appreciated the fact that one of the centaur creatures, Glendale? I don't remember her name. But she has a voice like this! Because, of course, this off-putting style extends to the voice performances too. But I was impressed that the vocal performer behind the character that sounds like this put a bit of that throaty catch into her singing voice too. Just a touch. That was a nice job mixing that component of the vocal performance into the singing component, the singing voice as well. Nicely done. So, I do think that this will ultimately, I do think, I'm not putting money on it. I'll never know unless one of you watch ahead and tell me in the comments. Which is a shame because I like the music. I really would have liked to, I'd have liked to see another cartoon musical. But this ain't it. It's a shame. Your horrible aesthetics are denying me the music! How dare you? What was I saying? I was saying, if I had to guess, which I don't, but I will, this will ultimately be a subversion of the ugly aesthetic, super sweet, happy, we're all friends, oh good golly gracious, bounce along, stupid voice, stupid model, stupid animation, stupid design. I think it might ultimately, as I was saying earlier, with this undercurrent of darkness that seems to be percolating up to the top, I think the show really doesn't like this this kind of stuff and is trying to take the piss, as it were. Well, show. You can have it.